not familiar with Black Hebrew Israelite teachings. Now, this is what they labeled it as. This was on the survey, okay? It's kind of the familiar name people know, okay? This is their verbiage, not mine. Okay, going over here to the right side first. So this is the way the question was asked. So you had 5 answers. So imagine if you answered this survey, how would you answer? I am not familiar with Black Hebrew Israelite teachings. A majority of Black Americans say they are not familiar with Black Hebrew Israelite teachings. Do you guys all see that? 62% is a majority. But the story's not done yet. 6% say they firmly oppose the teaching of the Black Hebrew Israelites. So what that means is, out of the other percent, 48% who are familiar with Hebrew Israelite teachings, 6% of Black Americans say they firmly oppose them. This would be like the folks in the so-called woke church. This would be people who rock with my channel. This would be, brothers and sisters in Shield Squad. That's the kind of person answering that. This would be the brothers and sisters writing books out there on the topic and doing the blogs, and the podcast, because there's a lot popping off, Just because people see one person doesn't mean there's not a lot of people doing the work in the underground. So 6%, though, that means that's really a small percentage, though. That number needs to be super, super high, and it's super, super low. 9%. I disagree with most of the core ideas taught by Black Hebrew Israelites. That's interesting. Now, they don't define the core ideas in the survey. This is not an exhaustive survey on Hebrew Israelites. Everyone understands that. This survey, this data, was focused to find out Black Americans' opinions on the nation of Israelites. Disagree with some or all, or most or all. That's the best way I should say it. 50% of Black Americans disagree with most or all of the teachings of Hebrew Israelites, okay? And so that's good. It's better than nothing. But look at this. 19%. Now, this is the thing we're going to focus on, this 4% over here. But really, this number may even be a bigger number. You see what I'm saying? 19%. Yeah, Kimberly York, you're right. That means 38% are aware. That's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. 19%. That's almost 20%. Right? Agree with most of the core ideas taught by Black Hebrew Israelites. Wow. Now, numbers to show you why this is utterly fascinating. So right now, the main thing under discussion is this 19% figure, okay? That's what we're looking at, okay? See right here? That's what we're looking at. Okay. Boom. That's what we're looking at. I agree with most of the core ideas taught by Black Hebrew Israelites. So however they defined them in their head, they said, I agree. Almost 20% of the 38%, okay? You could do the math on those numbers, and that would be a big number, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. A massively big number, okay? Now check this out. 4% of the 38% of Black Americans who have heard about Hebrew Israelite teachings say they consider themselves Black Hebrew Israelite. Oh, wait. Now, that would really be... I wonder if it's... Well, this is really saying 4% of all Black Americans. Yeah. Man, I'm maybe messing up. I'm looking at some of this. Let me just stop here for a second. This is where I actually need your guys' help in the live chat. Yeah, so Kimberly York makes... Thanks, Abu, for messing me up with your nonsense. Okay, Kimberly York makes a good point. And Kim, just so you know, Kim, I do not disagree with you. Sorry, natural habit, right? That 19%, Kim is right. That is very significant. Judah Lion says, vocab, you're taking a poll on what Black people think instead of the prophecies that defines us. Judah, I didn't create this poll. I'm reading Lifeway Research's findings. I think this is important to look at that, okay? I think that's important. Edward Scott, you're going to get timed out unless you have something good to say. Just be cool, man. Just be cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lovely Manta Ray, too. I appreciate that. She is right, and I think we all need to pay attention to this. This is a major wake-up call. 19% of Black Americans agree with the core ideas taught by Black Hebrew Israelites. Or unless it's 19% of the 38%. You see what I'm saying? But it must just be 19% of black Americans, because when you add this all together, you see it equals the 100. 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 plus 9, 15 plus 4 is 19. 19 plus 19 is 38. And then you have the 62. So that is 19% of black Americans. 19% of black Americans agree with most of the core ideas type of Hebrew Israelites. Now, I don't think they're all familiar with them. That's why I try to actually spend a lot of my time explaining what a lot of Hebrew Israelites think. You see what I'm saying? That's what I try to do. Now, but here's what I want to show you, okay? Sorry, getting a little bit distracted here, right? Check this out. Well, Jose Daniel, I see your comment. That's an easy analysis to make, and I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing, Jose Wade. You don't know how the respondent is defining the core ideas taught by black Hebrew Israelites. Everyone needs to understand that. You see what I'm saying? You don't know how the respondent understands Hebrew Israelism. So I would contend most people aren't familiar with the deeper doctrine. They have a general idea, right? And whatever they say about this general idea in their mind affects what they answer. So you don't know what they think Hebrews like core teaching is. You see what I'm saying? But whatever they think it is, 19% agree. Now check this out. I think this shows the Hebrew Israelites do not have as much of an image problem with black America as a lot of people think they do. Yeah, that's right. That's what I think this means. A lot of people were like, who's going to listen to guys out there on the street corner? You know what? I just think I hear you on that, but I don't think you understand the culture. Oh, you understand the culture and I don't? Well, to an extent, yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Okay, what? And I've talked about this before, like when I did the allure of Hebrew Israelism. I did an old video where I called this, the video was titled The Subtle Genius of IUIC. I've talked about this in various places, right? I don't think you know really, you have to understand what's going on. When you walk out in the street and hear common people's opinions, those who are getting off the bus, those who are getting off the light rail, your Uber driver, like, you know what I mean? Not just like the BLN people on a stage at some conference or something. Like, I think it's when you kind of understand the lay of the land a little bit better, I think you're not as shocked by this 19% number. Now, it's a little higher than I would have thought. I will grant that. 19% of black Americans agree with Hebrew Israelite teachings. But here's the point. Yo, this means the image problem is not as bad as a lot of us think. Now, I think the image problem should be bad, because I think, and this is all due respect to the Hebrew Israelites in the chat, okay? All due respect to you. And yeah, I look forward to your numbers, Kim. But I think the essence of Hebrew Israelism is bad, okay? And for the most part, it's a problem. It's whack, I think. And, we got a disagreement. Okay, I understand. So I want it to be lower, right? As far as who agrees. But the image problem is not as bad as you guys, a lot of times, I think, probably think it is. No, Everett, you're saying the Most High works in small numbers, bro. You're totally misunderstanding what I'm saying, Everett Scott. Everett Scott, listen to me carefully. These are not small numbers, Everett Scott. There's way more black Americans who either consider themselves Hebrew Israelites or agree with their teachings than I think anyone realized up until this point. If these numbers are even close to being right, which they're saying is a 4% margin of error, I do tend to think this is about right, these numbers. I think when you break it down, you realize there's some legitimacy to these numbers. Everett, you're misunderstanding. I don't think these are small numbers. They may look like small numbers, but I'm going to show you something here in a second with some basic math I did, and you guys are going to go, whoa, these are not very small numbers. Let me break it down. 23%, when you add it together, you guys see this? 19 plus 4 is 23. 23% of black Americans either agree with most or all of Hebrew Israelism. That's almost a quarter of black Americans. That's a big deal. Let me show you something else you may have not considered yet. So 62% have never heard, right? But of those who have heard, 15 disagree. Only 15. The number of those who agree is higher than those who don't. Now watch this. That means 38% have heard of Hebrew Israelite teaching. That's this group over here. Comprises 38% of black Americans. Guess what? 19 plus 4 is 23. Let me just show you this. If you added 23 together, so just doubled it, 23 plus 23, you'd have 46. Why did I bring up that number? Right? Here's why I bring up that number. Because you have 38% left who have heard of it. That means more than half of people who get exposed to Hebrew Israelism end up agreeing with it. Do you understand that? Look, I'm trying to break this down. I'm not very good at explaining this properly. 38% of black Americans have heard about Hebrew Israelites. 23 rock with it in some way. That means more than half of people who are exposed to it rock with it. Because if you divided 38 in half, it'd be like 17. It'd be like, what is it, 19, I think? 19%? This is more than half. You see what I'm saying? 23% agree. I hope you guys understand that. Folks are not properly have been inoculated against the bad teaching of Hebrew Israelism. A organization who's interested in data collection in regards to this question, they're not trying to pump up the numbers, right? It's fascinating to even have this question on here, right? This is utterly fascinating and should be a big wake-up call. Reason Uncensored, brother, I think I just answered the question. Why do you still make videos about these groups? Because look at the numbers on your screen. 23% of black Americans agree with most or all of Hebrew Israelism. That's almost a quarter. That's why I still make these videos. Hey, yo, Connor Terrell, thank you for the super chat. It's scary how much of a foothold this is taking. This is why we need apologists like you doing fine work. Thank you, brother. This is funny. And thank you, Mr. Phil Fox. Notice how some people get it. They see it, the data, and they're like, whoa, this is not just anecdotal. They kind of get it. They understand, right? There you go. There's the narrative. Low key vocab.